and let tonight's gentle tale carry you into rest. Tansy and the Kindwitch, Zinnia. This story is about Tansy, a young girl who finds joy and comfort through an encounter with Zinnia, a kindwitch, reminding her that kindness and cheer are magical. Tansy, a young girl with a smile as bright as the summer sun, lived in the quaint village of Meadowbrook. Every evening, she would sit by a large oak tree at the edge of the village and watch the sunset paint the sky with hues of orange and pink. One twilight, as the first stars shimmered into sight, Tansy noticed something unusual, a tiny, glowing light flicking through the tall grasses. Furious, she followed it, her heart a blend of excitement and fear. The light led her deep into the forest until she stumbled upon a small, moss-covered cottage. By the doorway stood a figure draped in vibrant robes, her hair a cascade of silver curls and her presence exuding warmth. "Hello, dear child," the woman greeted kindly. "I am Zinnia, the Kindwitch." Tansy felt a strange sense of calm, her fears dissipating as Zinnia's gentle eyes met hers. "You're not here to harm me, are you?" Tansy asked hesitantly. Zinnia chuckled softly, her laughter like the tinkling of wind chimes. "Of course not, my dear. I am here to bring cheer and kindness." Zinnia invited Tansy inside, where the air was fragrant with the scent of baked apples and cinnamon. The cozy room was adorned with colorful tapestries and shelves lined with jars full of shimmering powders and potions. Zinnia brewed a puff of herbal tea, the steam curling into fantastical shades. She handed Tansy a cup. "This is a special tea, made to lift spirits and soothe worries." As Tansy sipped, she felt warmth spread for her, like a comforting embrace. They talked for hours, sharing stories and laughter. Tansy learned that Zinnia had been spreading joy and healing for centuries, her magic a beacon of hope for all who sought out. As the night grew deeper, Zinnia offered Tansy a small vial filled with a sparkling liquid. "This is for you, my dear. Whenever you're sad or troubled, just a drop of this will remind you of the happiness we've shared tonight." Tansy accepted the gift, her heart swelling with gratitude. When she returned to the village, the world seemed brighter and problems seemed smaller. Whenever she felt down, a single drop from Zinnia's vial would revive the cheer and warmth she had experienced. And so, the legend of Zinnia, the Kindwitch, grew in Meadowbrook, forever reminding the villagers that kindness and cheer are the greatest forms of magic. Let's begin another chapter in tonight's journey. New Beginnings, the Tale of Flax and Rose. This story is about Flax, a kind-hearted man, and Rose, a river nymph, who find hope and new beginnings through their friendship and collective journey. In a tranquil village nestled by the edge of an ancient forest, lived a kind-hearted man named Flax. One summer evening, as the golden rays of the sun began to fade, Flax decided to take a stroll along the river bank. The gentle gurgle of the river always brought him comfort, and tonight, it seemed especially soothing. As he walked, Flax noticed a soft glow emanating from the water's edge. Intrigued, he moved closer and saw a delicate figure with flowing hair and shimmering skin. She was a river nymph named Rose, and her beauty was otherworldly. "Hello," Flax called softly. Rose turned, her movements graceful as the flowing river. "Hello," she replied with a voice like the tinkling of crystal bells. "I am Rose. I watch over this river." Flax was entranced by her presence and they began to talk like stories of their lives and dreams. Flax spoke of his desire for a new beginning, feeling a bit lost after recent changes in his life. Rose listened with empathy, her gentle eyes full of understanding. Sometimes, Rose said softly, a new beginning is just what we need to find our true path. Encouraged by her words and the serene serenity of the night, Flax felt the spark of hope ignite within him. From that day on, Flax and Rose would meet by the river each evening. With Rose's guidance and the calming presence of the river, Flax began to see his life in a different light. He started to embrace new opportunities and found joy in the simple wonders of life. One particularly beautiful evening, under the canopy of twinkling stars, Rose shared a secret with Flax. I am bound to this river, but my heart longed to explore the world beyond, she said wistfully. Flax, determined to help his new friend, pondered long and hard. Finally, he sought out an old, wise hermit who lived deep within the forest. The hermit spoke of an ancient enchantment that could free Rose, but it required a pure heart and a selfless act of love, with unwavering resolution. Flax gathered rare ingredients and performed the enchantment, guided by the wisdom of the hermit. As the final words of the spell were spoken, Rose was surrounded by a radiant light. You are free now, Flax whispered as tears of joy glistened in his eyes. Rose stood before him, no longer bound to the river. Ain't you, Flax? She said, her love for him shining brightly. The new beginning they both yearned for had arrived. Together, they embarked on a journey to explore the world, their hearts intertwined by friendship and the promise of endless adventures. The village continued to thrive by the river, and Flax and Rose's story was passed down through generations, a testament to the power of hope, love, and new beginnings. Let's journey gently to the next story. Yarrow and the Honor of Camellia. This story is about Yarrow, who finds his place and purpose through the honor of helping Camellia, the helpful sprite, in preserving the harmony of Whispering Woods. Nestled in the quaint village of Imberleaf, Yarrow was known for his gentle nature and kind heart. His compassion extended to all creatures, but he often felt a void, questioning his purpose and place in the world. One starry evening, as Yarrow wandered through the ancient Whispering Woods, he encountered Camellia, a helpful sprite radiating a soft, golden light. Curious and intrigued, Yarrow approached the sprite, who was tending to injured woodland creatures with great care. Camellia noticed Yarrow's inquisitive eyes and smiled warmly. I am Camellia, protector of these woods and healer of the innocent. Yarrow was mesmerized, not only by her luminescence but her dedication to the creatures. He and Camellia spent hours talking, sharing stories, and Yarrow felt a newfound sense of belonging and purpose. I wish to help you, Camellia, in any way I can, Yarrow offered earnestly. Camelia's eyes sparkled, and she graciously accepted his help. Together, they tended to the forest's needs, healing the creatures, and ensuring the harmony of their natural habitat. As they worked side by side, Yarrow learned about honor, not as a grand gesture, but as small, consistent acts of kindness. One day, the peace of Whispering Woods was threatened by a fierce storm that uprooted ancient trees and displaced many creatures. Courageously, Yarrow and Camellia doubled their efforts. Camellia showed Yarrow how to create a protective barrier for the creatures, and Yarrow's calm presence reassured the animals amidst the chaos. The bond between the two grew stronger, forged through their shared trials. The village began to see significant changes. The forest flourished under their care, and Yarrow emerged as a figure of quiet strength and honor. Villagers spoke of the transformation, how the gentleman and the sprite had brought renewed life and balance to their world. Yarrow found his place and purpose, not through grand achievements, but through the honor of serving something greater than himself. And so, under the velvet canopy of starlit nights, Yarrow and Camellia cherished their bond, continuing their noble work and embracing the honor in every small act of kindness they imparted on their world. Another gentle tale is ready to be shared. Atalaifa and Lily's Enchanted Night on Hills. This story is about a human named Atalaifa and a mischievous pixie named Lily who explore the hills around their home, forming an unbreakable bond. Once upon a time, nestled between rolling hills and a sky that glittered with stars, there lived a human named Atalaifa. Atalaifa was a kind-hearted soul who loved exploring the serene landscapes around her village. She often wandered up to the hilltops, letting the cool breeze tousle her hair and watching the world spread out beneath her. Her favorite spot was under a grand ancient oak tree that stood alone on the highest hill, its gnarled branches reaching out as if to hug the entire sky. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of pink and gold, Atalaifa heard a delicate, musical giggle. It was as if the hills themselves were laughing. She looked around with wide eyes and finally spotted a tiny, luminous pixie sitting on a mushroom. The pixie introduced herself as Lily, a mischievous creature who loved to play tricks, but had a heart as pure as the crystal waters of the streams flowing through the hills. They quickly became friends, their laughter echoing across the landscape and blending with the whisper of the wind. Lily showed Atalaifa hidden paths through the hills, passages only visible when the moon was full. They discovered sparkling caves filled with luminescent mushrooms, whose glow was said to grant wishes. They danced with fireflies under the blanket of the night sky, their movements a mystical waltz known only to the forest creatures. Every night, they would climb the ancient oak tree, now their shared sanctuary, and watch the stars twinkle like diamonds. One starlit night, Lily confessed a secret wish to Atalaifa. She wished to see the world beyond the hills and understand the lives of humans. Touched by her friend's innocent curiosity, Atalaifa promised to take her on a journey. And so, as day broke, they set off together, the first human and pixie pair to embark on such an adventure. They wandered through villages, crossed rivers, and shared stories with travelers. Everywhere they went, they spread joy and laughter, Atalaifa's kindness blending with Lily's playful spirit. People who met them found their lives just a little brighter, their burdens a touch lighter. As the seasons changed, they decided to return home. The hills were as majestic as ever, welcoming them with open arms. Upon their return, they climbed their favorite oak tree and looked out over the beautiful landscape of their home. Lily, grateful for the experience, kissed Atalaifa's cheek, promising to always watch over her. Their bond had grown unbreakable, a symbol of friendship transcending the bounds of species. And under the starlit heavens, Atalaifa and Lily whispered their dreams to the wind, knowing they would always have the hills, the stars, and each other. Until next time, sleep well and sweet dreams.